Alright, so topic I get asked pretty often is how much did it cost, or I guess a comment that may be made is, wow, you sure spent a lot of money to go out there and run and race and suffer. And just wanted to, I guess, run down the cost of everything it took to get me to a 70.3. I'll exclude anything from the hurricane where made it all the way to Georgia, spent all the money on hotels and that, only for it to be canceled, come back, plane tickets to Texas, excluding all that. So essentially the prep, the entry fees, and everything included. So I didn't have a budget, so I wasn't going in thinking, how can I do this on the cheapest budget possible. I just wanted to run down the list of costs that I incurred, some things that maybe I didn't foresee happening, and some ways that you could improve your budget, because it was not cheap. So I guess right off the bat, if you're doing an IRONMAN branded 70.3, it's going to be roughly $450 to $500 depending when you sign up, what race it is, and if you get any of the add-ons. I wouldn't recommend it, just get the general entry, but that's about $450. So a bunch of the expendables, I guess, so all the things that I used in this prep to get there. So this is my shoes, my tri-suit, my wetsuit, which are really the consumables, I guess would be it. I went through about 3 pairs of shoes, my tri-suit, which is mandatory if you just want to race comfortably and optimally, and depending on your race location, a wetsuit. I was supposed to be wetsuit legal, ended up not being, but I purchased a wetsuit anyhow. All of those together came to about $600. So just between your consumables and your entry fee, you're at about $1,000, and there's almost no way around that, because running in good, not broken down shoes is very important in injury prevention. So third thing is you need a bike. I had a bike from about a year before. That bike costed me about $2,200. Definitely don't need that. You can get something used off Facebook Marketplace, but I had another bike, sold it, so doing the girl math ended up just basically being a free road bike that I used for this. So I don't have a tri bike, just a road bike with my clip-on aero bars and fitted towards a tri position. So that's, if you're on a budget, that's the best thing you can do, or just buy used. So my gym membership, this I used for swimming. I had a separate one for weight training, but won't count that one. So the only gym membership I will count is my LA Fitness for the pool, and that's roughly $30 a month. I think there's maybe a $20 a month option, or there's gyms all over the place that are $10 a month, where you can get a pool. I unfortunately just don't have one around me. Something I did to prevent injuries and stay healthy during this prep was deep tissue work. Found a great deep tissue massage therapist locally. Not the cheapest thing in the world, but it helped me stay healthy, and you can't put a price on that. I was getting one a month roughly at about $120, so that comes out to about $480. Now another consumable would be my supplements. So the supplements that I used, I varied a couple brands, but basically it was BPN for my Go gels and electrolytes. I was using their carb powder at the beginning, but I found a little bit more of a cost-effective route that was great quality and digested well with me. So for my carb powders, towards the later half of the prep, I transitioned over to Raw Fuel. Phenomenal, great taste, smooth, clean, and that's actually what I raced with. So I raced with the Raw Fuel and the Raw Replenish. That was my go-to. All of these for my prep, roughly $350. So in the grand scheme of things, I'd say this was about a 15 to 20 week prep. So not the cheapest thing in the world, but definitely makes all the difference. You're on the bike nutrition, pre-run, post-run, to get your recovery started. crucial. Definitely prioritize quality supplements. I got a bike tune-up before my supposed to be race in Georgia. That's $100. Definitely recommend having somebody go up over your bike, top to bottom, make sure everything's in good race shape. Don't want to have a bike mechanical. I saw way too many of those out on my race. Another one that I guess I'll throw in there, it's not mandatory, but that would be Strava. It's cool to show your friends, see your friends' workouts, track your progress. It shows interesting stats, although I do have a Garmin, so it's kind of overkill, but it is good to have, and that's like $80 for the year. So that's definitely something you don't need. There was definitely some expenses when it came to travel. I guess if I was to just calculate my first race that didn't go as planned, so my hotel, my food, my gas, everything for that. The hotel alone, I mean, you're going to be there for 3 days at least, I'd recommend. That's probably going to be $400 on the cheap end, upwards to however much you want to spend. And then food and gas. I have a good gas mileage, so I was able to save money there, but I'd put about another $400 at that. So those are most of the costs associated with doing a 70.3. Oh, just did the math here. This is the first time looking at this number. Definitely don't recommend looking at how much you've spent. Just do it and justify it, but it comes out to roughly $3,000, which definitely is a lot of money, but easily could have spent a lot more. Some things that you can do to cut back is definitely buy a used bike. Facebook Marketplace, best friend. Supplements. When you're on the bike trying to find a carb that's maybe a candy or something that agrees with you as well, because going through 3 or 4 gels, it's good for race prep, but not necessarily every workout gets very expensive. Or if you can just tolerate food, you don't even need gels, and you can just supplement where you absolutely have to. Finding a cheaper gym membership, it's a great option. I don't have any in the area. I couldn't do that. Looking back at it, definitely finding something as local to you as possible, unless you just have a destination you want to go to. That's going to save you so much time and money. And I guess a cost that I didn't really think about at the beginning of things was time. I would say towards the peak of my prep, I was roughly 10, 11 hours max. But having a girlfriend, a house to take care of, a dog, a full-time job, and responsibilities led to me being up on Saturdays to go get my bike rides done, being up at 4:30 and to beat the summer heat, and out and back before 10 or 11. And then most weekdays getting up at 4:45, going swimming before work, running, weight training, biking, whatever the case may be after work, and just trying to strategize how to best use my time. So time management is something that can't really put a dollar on, but if you don't have it, you will fail. So make sure you have a good budget and some time management skills so you can really be stress-free come race day. You're not stressing out about, oh man, I need a $40 hotel or whatever the case may be. So that is just some of the costs. I'm sure I'm forgetting some things. And I'm also sure that there's a lot more that you can do to become cheaper or more expensive. But these are just the bare necessities, in my opinion, on what it takes to get you to the 70.3 finish line.